Hello, my name is Eden, and I have come to Nimea Kaya from Michigan in the United States. I came to Nimea Kaya because I hit what felt like a rock bottom place in my life. I had a really hard year where it felt like any challenge or shadow or struggle or pain or trauma that I've ever experienced in my life came rising to the surface under a big bright light for me to see and feel and taste and smell more clearly than I ever had before in my life. And after trying many different forms of therapies and retreats and healings, I felt like I was being beckoned and called by grandmother Ayahuasca to come and to commune with her once again, to turn face to face, to meet all of these parts of myself that I've been carrying and trying to release without much success, and to really quiet myself and still myself and dig in deep to release and to truly heal what was buried down so deep within my being. Um, some of the things that I was experiencing and struggling with before coming to Nimea Kaya was addiction. Um, it became very clear to me that addiction is a generational pattern that's carried on both sides of my family, and that I've been walking with a really long time in my life. When I was younger, it started with emotional eating, and then as I got older into my late high school, college years, it morphed into alcoholism, heavy drinking, binge drinking, blacking out from drinking. And after that, in more recent years, it developed into an unhealthy relationship with tobacco. And I was just feeling completely powerless over addiction. I felt like no matter how much inner strength I tried to muster, no matter how many support groups I went to, I just couldn't break the chain on my own. I couldn't find freedom on my own. And it felt like I was going deeper and deeper and deeper into lack of control with what eventually became tobacco use. And it broke my heart because, having worked with plant medicine before, I knew deep down in my being how sacred of a plant tobacco is, that he is the spirit of the wise and loving grandfather who protects us and serves us and loves us. And it just broke my heart that I couldn't find that right relationship with this plant. Um, so that was one thing I was experiencing. Another was lifelong depression. That's on both sides of my family as well. I realized that I've been depressed from a young age and would kind of ebb and flow into different depths of depression. And before coming to Nimea Kaya, I'd really hit a rock bottom. I would go to work and then just come home and pretty much lay in my room and stare at the walls, feeling like unable to muster any ounce of strength to enjoy life. There's so many things in life that I enjoy, and it's like all of those things were kind of dancing around me, and I couldn't reach out and grab any of them. I was also experiencing some anxiety and insomnia, sleeplessness. I would be up late into the night, walk out, sit under the stars, and just look up, wondering why I couldn't sleep, or wake up at 3 in the morning for no reason with some anxiety in my being. So I was incredibly sleep deprived before coming here. And with all of this, I felt a deep sense of, why am I here? Who am I? What is my essence? What gifts and magic am I meant to spread into this world with my being? Yeah, growing up, I was an incredibly playful little girl. I loved being out in nature. I always had skinned knees and was running around barefoot and making up music and putting on dance performances and laughing and playing and just like effortlessly lighting up a room wherever I went. And before coming to Nimea Kaya, I started to remember that part of myself, that little girl within me, and I could hear her calling and crying out for me, asking for me to reconnect with her. And I think one of the most beautiful gifts I'm taking away from Nimea Kaya is the reconnection with the spirit of the hummingbird, the reconnection with joy and play, even in the darkness, even in the depths of hard soul work. I've gained access to this balance between challenge and play, grief and praise, and a realization that those two experiences of being human exist side by side. They're like different sides to the exact same coin. I think that's why tears can be expressing grief, and then they can also be expressing joy. It's just this beautiful truth that I've come to know here at Nimea Kaya, that our pain is not far from our joy, and that in the depths of our pain, in our greatest wounds, lie our greatest light. And that's become very clear to me while being here. In one of the ceremonies I sat in, I saw myself going through a door and sitting in a very dark room, and I realized I was sitting in my woundedness. And it was peaceful. I wasn't fighting it. I wasn't afraid of it. I wasn't wishing it away. I wasn't scanning the room for evil spirits. I just sat there in my loneliness and my sadness and my pain and my shame. And then it was like a candle lit up, the room became lighter. And I realized that right there in that place, in that room where I sat quietly, all my greatest treasures, all of my aliveness was just sitting there waiting for me to be there with it all. So I would say to anyone wrestling with a lack of knowing who they are, a lack of aliveness, a lack of joy and play and peace in their lives and in their hearts, grandmother Ayahuasca is a wise and loving grandmother who has nothing but your best interests in mind and in heart. She desires to take you from here, all your stories, all your pain, to walk you through your shadow, to enliven the warrior within your spirit, the warrior that knows the truth and the aliveness that's waiting for you within yourself. And she is such a powerful ally to walk with. And for some, like myself, it might take rock bottom to really open to her medicine. But it doesn't have to be that way either. You can come as you are, wherever you are, and invite her into your life. And I promise she will gift you with so much more than you ever would have known to ask for. And she will gift you with a soul family who sees you and knows you and celebrates you, who you've always been, who is hiding and waiting beneath all of the rubble of your life. I'm forever grateful to Nimea Kaya, to this place, this healing center, to the people here, to the land, to the birds, to the water, the snakes, the bees, not the mosquitoes, the mosquitoes, to the healers, the Shipibo people, their medicine, their wisdom, their song, My life will never be the same. Aho.